Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we have the RockyMounts GuideRail 2-bike platform rack. This is a dual wheel mount bike rack, and we're going to take a look at how well it fits our 2022 Mazda CX-9. The GuideRail is a pretty cool bike rack. It has some premium features which match its premium price, and you have a dual wheel mount, so no matter what type of frame your bike has, you're not worried about it touching it at all. 60-pound weight capacity, so also good for heavy electric bikes. The focus of this rack is just to make it easier for you to load and unload your bikes, as well as do things like tilt the rack away. There's a lever at the end that you pull, and then you just drop the rack down to a tilt. It's a pretty steep tilt. You might have to be conscious about if your bikes are on there though, so you don't get hit in the face by a handlebar. But now you're able to open up your hatch. Plenty of clearance between the door, the pedals, and the handlebars. Here, you can grab your helmets, your backpacks, your waters, switch out your shoes if you choose to. The CX-9 is kind of a tall vehicle though, so maybe a little bit of a stretch. But once you've gotten what you needed, you can come back over here and see how there's plenty of space for that door to come down. And then, to bring it back into place, you just lift up ideally on the frame and not so much on your bikes. You can hear it click back into place, and now you are ready to drive. I mentioned that 60-pound weight capacity for the heavy electric bikes, but also carbon fiber frame bikes, mountain bikes, road bikes, those are all good to go as long as you have a maximum tire width of 3 inches. To unload the bikes, it's a very quick and easy process involving these 2 levers. So with the levers secure, I just press on the lever once over here, and that gives me enough clearance to lift up on the lever. So let's try it again. We're going to press the lever, 1, and then 2, have it lifted up. So now, holding on to the bike's frame, I can then push that front wheel mount out, push that rear wheel mount out, grab the bike, and you're now ready to hit the trails. Securing the bike, as well as securing the bike rack, is just as quick and easy as pushing those levers back in and pushing the wheel mount back in. Listen to that click. See how far out that wheel mount is? That's because you can move your bikes pretty far and you still have them secured. If you have a wheelbase as long as 55 inches, this bike rack can secure it. Moving those bikes back and forth also helps so that your handlebars and your seat posts don't interfere with each other. On the back of our CX-9, this does add a little bit of length. So measuring from our bumper to the end of the bike rack, it sits at 27.5 inches. If you have a small garage or you need to park into a tight spot, with this already being a slightly larger vehicle, that's a measurement to consider. Another measurement is ground clearance. So end of the rack to the ground, where you're going to load your bikes up, is 24.5 inches. So just a little bit over 2 feet. That's going to be the height you're going to have to lift that 60-pound bike if you want to fully maximize the weight capacity. So definitely something worth considering. Fortunately, since those wheel mounts go all the way down, it will serve sort of as a ramp, or at least get this out of the way so you can slide your bike up and into place. And now we're going to fold this up into the more compact position. So remember that lever we pulled earlier? We'll pull it again, but this time push up and against the vehicle. And this is going to be more compact and more portable. So taking some measurements again, measuring from the bumper that we measured from earlier to the end of the rack, it is now 10 inches. Big difference compared to when it was folded down. Coming in real close, it looks like it comes close to the car, but there's actually 1.5 inches of clearance, so no worries at all there. But what is it like living with a bike rack behind you all the time? Well, with this folded up like this, you can see how a lot of things are visible. Our rear window, our taillights, and most of our license plate, as well as our backup camera is visible. So backup camera sits right over there. What's going to happen? You go into reverse. The main rear camera will see a little bit of the bike rack, but mostly if there's any vehicles or people around you. Also, you have the 360 camera on the CX-9, and that will be helpful to see around that bike rack. So some thoughts about the guide rail is I do like that quick and easy function for securing your bikes. Those levers are pretty fun to use since it's just a flip of the lever and then you can load your bikes or take them right back off. You have extra things here too, like it secures into your hitch, you have an anti-rail bolt, you've got a lock, you have a chain lock. Check out the full demos for a full depth look at all of those different features. But here for the CX-9, it's a sleek rack that matches a sleek vehicle. If anything, I would recommend something that if you do need to carry around more bikes, or maybe you're not ready for that premium price point just yet, check out the RockyMounts monorail as an alternative. That one has a front wheel mount and a similar design, but not as high of a price point. You can see that bike rack here on our website though if you want to compare. But this right here right now was a look at the RockyMounts GuideRail 2-bike platform rack on our 2022 Mazda CX-9.